Our primary engine was a 2009, and it will go into reserve, so it was 15 years old.
And we knew we were getting towards the end of its life a couple years ago.
It is essentially undersized for the amount of runs we do. We're doing anywhere between 1,700 and 2,000 runs a year, and that fire truck might not be able to handle what we do.
These things take a lot of abuse. They go from sitting to, 40, 50, 60 miles an hour within seconds of screaming down the road and then back and parked in the bay, so over and over throughout the day.
We figured out what was wrong with the apparatus we have now, why it was down, what needed to be fixed, where we were spending a lot of money in maintenance. And from there, we were able to figure out what we needed as a town and what we needed to have a piece of apparatus last 20 years. Because it will be a frontline apparatus for a minimum of 10 years, and then it'll be a reserve for another 10 years.
We just always have to be forward thinking and trying to plan ahead so that our trucks can handle the type of equipment that could get assigned to us, or kind of just change with the times,
It was a good truck. It did a lot of good around the town of Speedway. It helped a lot of people. It was a great piece of apparatus, but eventually it has to go, and we have to bring in new apparatus, and we can't keep them around forever.
It was just the time for a capital outlay.
We need good apparatus. We need apparatus that won't fail. We need apparatus that at 2 a.m., if somebody calls 911, it starts up and it rolls and it does everything it's supposed to do. And yes, they are expensive, but it's a tool, and it's the tool that we use, and it allows us to do our job.
Our guys really wanted to spec out our own engine. We had the time to do it, and so it was about a 3-year process from beginning to end.
We spec'd everything out on this truck, from the engine to the shocks to the pump itself.
Really trying to figure out where our weaknesses are with our current apparatus and how we can strengthen those up.
They're the guys that touch the truck every day, are utilizing it, and it just makes sense that they would be the ones to help us design it, lay it out, and put all of the equipment in the places that they need to be.
2.5 years of going over plans, going over reviews, meetings, other trips to Wisconsin that we've had for, pre-build meetings. This was the culmination of everything.
So everything that we've worked on, everything that we had asked for, the way we laid it out, this was the final product on the green room floor to kind of see it before it rolls off the floor and into the town of Speedway.
And it's our job to go through and make sure that it's built to what our specs were, and we're always going to find things wrong with it, whether it's as minimal as paint defects or on the front bumper, for instance, the outlet for the 1 3/4 hand line was about 6 inches further back than we needed it to be. And that doesn't seem like a big deal right now, and a little bit of hose, a little extra hose doesn't seem like much, but when you're in an emergency and you're needing to deploy that hose rapidly, just having that split second of the hose being where it needs to be, the wear and tear on the hose so it's not bent and kinked and pulled. These are little things that don't seem like much, but they add up to a lot at the end. And the quicker we are, the quicker we can help somebody else.
The cab is a lot bigger and roomier. If by chance they had to get dressed while we were going down the road, there's plenty of room for that.
We have a large block Cummins motor on it, so this thing will go quick. We have the largest braking package that you can put on, so it will stop quick. And we have a strong suspension, and we have a better cramp angle, which means that we can make tighter turns. So while it's going to be a little bit bigger of an apparatus than our current engine, it is going to be faster, it's going to brake quicker, and it is going to turn better. So it'll handle better down the street.
The overall storage, the way we kind of laid the truck out for the equipment that we carry and what we're going to store on the truck, we were able to create a lot more storage capacity. So when you spec a piece of apparatus out, you're speccing it out for today, but you always have to have in mind 5 to 10 years down the road.
We had an air pump that was in the line of sight for the guys in the back. And we just talked with the gentleman that built our fire trucks, and they agreed that it was probably not in the right location, and we came up with an idea of where it needed to go. And at the end of the day, there was a lot of things that got done after the build that will just make it even that much better.
We added electricity, so we have outlets on there. Just trying to think ahead for if we potentially go with like an ALS, EMS program down the road.
They are working. They are putting a lot of time in.
Yeah, we're going to be able to put more equipment on there. We're going to be able to outfit, for the future.
Different compartments for different tools, and so it's got a lot of room, and I think everybody's going to be really happy with that aspect of it.
And we're going to be able to have our hose at eye level. Whether you're 5'6" or 6'2", you're not going to have an issue, and you're not going to have a safety issue. So that's going to get us a little bit quicker, a little bit safer, and at the end of the day, it'll just allow us to do our job that much better. We had gone over that thing for 2 years straight. So we knew every nut, every bolt, every compartment. We knew everything how it was supposed to lay out.
These guys built the type of truck they wanted. There are compartments within the back cab area where guys can access from inside the cab or outside the cab. I like the fact that this new engine has a ladder rack on it that actually automatically lowers. It allows you to have more compartment space.
All in all, it's a beautiful truck. I think it's going to be exactly what we need here, and I think the townspeople will be proud to have it serving.
The light package that we have on there, you'll be able to see that coming down the street, and it just looks mean, and it'll be a great fire truck.
We are very fortunate in Speedway. We run an engine house and we run a ladder house, and we have reserved for both of those, so we don't have to depend on other departments to provide us with a reserve apparatus.
We don't know what we need in the future, but we want it to be open-ended. And we just built for the future. We built a beefy fire truck that has the best suspension, the strongest chassis, and one of the biggest motors that you can put in a fire truck. It is a good piece of equipment. It's a great apparatus, and it'll serve Speedway for a long time.
I love just looking at it and seeing it. It's everything kind of we put together.
And it's really pretty.